What's going on, y'all? Real quick, something to get off my chest. We talk about, about how we want the youth to change and all these different things and just change, period. You know what I'm saying? I think about humanity as a whole. And, you hear people, I'm going to pray to win the lottery. I pray to win this, you know what I mean? And it's like, if you're anywhere where somebody's telling you to pray for riches or anything like that, they're telling you wrong. All right. I'm going to start up in Kings here. I know I haven't used the Bible in a while, but this stood out because this is a universal message. When he asked, when Solomon asked, right, he asked for understanding. You know what I'm saying? He said, give therefore thy servant an understanding heart to judge thy people, that I may discern between good and bad. For who is able to judge this so great a people? You see what I'm saying? And then God said unto him, because you asked this thing, and you asked not for a longer life, you didn't ask for riches for yourself, or you didn't ask for your enemies to be destroyed, but asked for understanding to discern judgment. And he said, I've given thee a wise and understanding heart, so that there was none like thee before thee, or neither after thee shall arise like unto thee. And I have also given thee that which thou hast not asked, both riches and honor. You see what I'm saying? So he gave him a wise and an understanding heart. We've been taught to, ignore the heart, the feelings deceive you. No, your mind is what can deceive you. You know what I mean? Your heart, the feeling and all that thing. People try to play down feeling and all these different things. No, that's where it is. When your mind is saying, I'm finna go slide on this such and such and do this and that. But your heart is saying, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should just talk it out. Maybe I should, maybe I should put off on, maybe I shouldn't do this. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I shouldn't pull this trigger. It's your mind is saying, do it, the ego. But the heart, that's your intuition. That's the, the part of that divine feminine, you know what I mean? The feeling, the intuition, the right hemisphere, all those different things. The wisest man on earth, King Solomon, he was given an understanding heart. He has for understanding. And what is it that we say people need to end the violence? Understanding. It's important that both sides understand each other, but need to have dialogue. We need to be able to talk, okay? And people need help to get back into not just their minds, but also their hearts, so they can have that understanding and have the wherewithal using their minds to speak eloquently and to be able to communicate whatever it is. A lot of things can be solved if people can talk it out and communicate well and not trying to talk over each other. You know what I'm saying? Talk to each other. Not about who has the most right answer or who can sound this way and sound that way. No, but it's the heart where it starts. It's the heart that will bring, these people who call themselves enemies to the table. It's the heart that'll, that's telling them, hey, you know what? I kind of want to change. You know what I'm saying? But the mind says, no, you don't. You see what I'm saying? So we've been taken from the wisest person, the wisest king. Everybody talks about King Solomon. You talk about his riches and all that, but what did he ask for? He asked for an understanding heart. He asked for wisdom of the heart. You know what I mean? And he got that understanding. A lot of that is missing nowadays. And this is I've been talking on a few lives, and we're trying to figure out how to reach the youth to get them to understand this. And it always comes back to the individual making the choice. You know what I mean? And it's time to listen to that heart, listen to that feeling, listen to that's that higher self speaking to you. You know what I'm saying? This is what we need. So let it, remember that, if if you're about to you're about to post something on Instagram, you're about to, go do something that ain't right. And your mind isn't right. But your mind is also telling you, go for it. It's going to be fun. You're going to get some clout. Remember what your heart's telling you. Man, maybe I shouldn't. Because when them blue lights start going, or, something else happen, you probably, you may not get killed, but your homeboy get killed. First thing is come out is, man, I knew I shouldn't have. You hear that? I knew. If you know, why did you do it anyway? See, your brain is what deceives you, not your heart. Your feelings don't deceive you. You know what I'm saying? It's the brain that does that. That's where the ego resides. You know what I'm saying? Because you already know, we already know, man, I shouldn't do this, but we do it anyway. No, listen to that from the first place. You know what I'm saying? That don't, you ain't gonna, it'd be no psychic or no, empath or anything like that. Because we all have it. It's that part that's talking to us. That's your spirit. That's your soul. That's what's happening. You know what I'm saying? Listen to that. And when you follow it, it's not gonna always be agreeable to, to the other people who want to use you and all that. But it's right for you, and you'll feel more empowered by going by that. How many times we said, I should have went by my first mind. Yeah, that was your heart. That was your feelings, bro. It was your mind that tricked you into doing something else, man. You know what I mean? So, hey, that's where, that's where the enemy goes. Messes with your mind. Can't mess with the heart, though. So that's all I want to get off my chest about that. Also, another thing I want to get on was the whole thing about, belief. You ask yourself, why does the American dollar still have value? It's fiat. It's not backed by anything. Why does it still have value? Well, it's because we believe it still has value. We still use it. We still employ it. We still, you know what I mean? Or, why, whether it be, your rights, constitution, anything like that. It's that belief. And in order to destroy any of that, you have to destroy the belief and the confidence that people put into something. So it's the same thing when we're talking about our inner cities and our youth and our communities. You know what I mean? A lot of people just don't say anything. They just mind their business, just go away, blah, 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 because the belief is not there anymore. You can go into all the churches you want and people can hip and hallelujah and all this stuff. But what's the actions outside those churches? You know what I mean? You still have to, it's just like when I was talking about, the reality I was taught, believe you could achieve it and all that stuff. And then the reality that was on the street, it was totally different. You know what I mean? It's that same thing. You can have all the belief in the faith you want in a place where, yeah, that's, hey, we're in a church, well, all this, but bring that kind of belief out there. We have to believe in ourselves and we have to do that, because how are we going to convince the people we're trying to reach that what's going on and what they don't like, they can change, that they are the solution. They are part of the solution. It's all about that belief and that faith. You have to have those two things to make something concrete. That goes into the works, but you have to have the belief behind it. And that's the only way that anything can survive. You know what I mean? If you could hear people, when they're speaking, they're like, oh, they don't really believe what they're saying. People get paid to say certain things. You can tell. But, listen to your heart, man. Listen to that intuition. Listen to that feeling. You know what I mean? That's your higher self. That's the universe. It's talking to you. It talks to us all. You know what I mean? And it's always trying to guide us. And when we allow it to guide us, we're able to better guide the youth. We're better able to employ our minds and our hearts in it to be able to stop, or take it down. You know what I'm saying? And all it has to do is work just a little bit. How many times do things, when you see, nobody believes that one person can do it, right? I use a rapper, for example, oh man, they ain't going nowhere. They ain't doing the music. Nobody believes, but that person believes. And then when that person starts to make moves, they start to get more promotion. They start to move up, and eventually they make it. Those same people along the way, there'll be, some of them gonna hate, of course, but I'm talking about the one that say, damn, man, you did it, and what that does is it inspires others. Let's think about, Chief Keef. All right. He was doing this thing. I'm pretty sure he had people like, man, I ain't finna do nothing. Everybody rapping, but he made it. And what did it do? It inspired other people. Now, I'm not talking, the other stuff that came with that, we all know what happened. I'm not talking, that happened in a bad way. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not glorifying that. I'm just talking about what one person does something, how it can inspire that same belief. Sometimes all people have to see is another person's own belief in themselves actually come to fruition about something, and that will inspire it in another. But if all you have is people talking about what we can't do, oh man, it's too much, it's too big, and all that, And that's why I talked about, eating an elephant one bite at a time. Yeah, don't try to go for the big gusto. That's the problem. A lot of times people try to go too big, too fast, and it doesn't happen that way. You got to take time. It takes patience. It takes steps. And doing what you can, when you can, and where you can. And that's how you get to the bigger result. You know what I mean? It's like that movie White Man Can't Jump. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what they say? What it's talking about, white people want to win and then look good. And it's like black people want to look good, then win. You know what I mean? And it's like, nah, sometimes you got to do the dirt work first before you get to that, to the good stuff. You know what I mean? And that's just as a community as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Start small. You know what I'm saying? Clean up them neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? Get, if somebody wants to open up the store, support that store. Do all that. Support each other. And when people start to see that, people will start following suit. But sometimes people are just looking for an example to follow. That's all it is. Oh man, look, that really can work. We can do that too. Perfect. And you network with the people who are doing it, and then they tell you how to do it, and then that person starts doing it. That's how it goes, man. But you got to have the heart. You got to have that understanding in order to get some kind of peace, some kind of ceasefire, anything like that. Got to get people, into their hearts more and less out of their minds. All right, that's all I had to get off my chest, man. Y'all be smooth.